Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video of CADbit. Today's video will be a bit interesting as we will not be making any kind of quotations for our product. Instead, we will learn to calculate the cost of different kinds of process used to make a finished good item. There are various types of process involved in manufacturing a product. Process such as cutting of panels or profiles, drillings, gluing, labor and assembly charge, paintings, powder coating for profiles, any kind of surface processes such as polishing, stickering, overhead costs such as branding and promotions, installation charge, and at last the time factor charge. We will learn to calculate the cost of each process one by one in detail using our same cabinet as an example. So let us start with our first process of cutting. So to make our first process of cutting, I will quickly go to CADbit. So first of all, I will go to the setup menu and I will go to the process tab. So to calculate any kind of process, first we have to define a process in CADbit Master. I will define my first process as cutting. I can give a name for this process which will appear in my reports. So for this, I will give a name as cutting cost. I can define 3 levels of pricing here. So it will take the cost according to the customer. So I say my standard cutting cost is 10 rupees. The dealer is 8 and the super dealer is 6. I can define a unit whether the cutting should be per feet or per meter. So in this case, I say I want per meter, and I can also select the category on which I have to apply this process. So let's say from Python you are getting multiple categories, but you only want to calculate the cutting cost on panels and boards because this is something which is going to be cut. So you can select categories and later you can select the HSN code as well, which will calculate the tax also. I don't need HSN at the moment. I will just click on save. So our first process has been successfully made. Now we will try to generate the quotation for the same cabinet and let's see the cost of cutting. So I come back to Python. You all guys know how to make quotations. So we generate the part list and we will make the build. If you guys don't know how to make a quotation, I would recommend to go back and watch the previous videos. So our quotation is ready. Now we'll just quickly go to the reports tab. So under reports tab, if you see there is a new report called as process wise report. I can just click on it. So it will show me there is a process of cutting cost. The total quantity to be cut is 32.77 meter and the price for 1 meter is 10 rupees. So this is the price for overall cutting charge. So this quantity has been calculated by adding the perimeter of all the parts which is under the panel category. So it's length 1 plus length 2 plus length 3 plus length 4. Now let us close this and go to our next process, which is the drilling process. So for that, I will again go back to setup. I go to process and I say this time I want to make a new process under the name of drilling. I can just say this thing as drilling and I say to make one drill, I take a charge of 2 rupees as a standard price, dealer price as 1 and 0.5 as my super dealer price. So if you notice, the cutting process is only applicable to the categories which are registered on per square feet or square meter, while the drilling process is only valid for the product categories which are registered on per piece. So I say I want to add drilling process for fittings and hardwares and I will just click on save. Now this drilling process is little bit different from the cutting. So we have made a process for drilling, but the question is how does CADbit will come to know that there are X number of drills to be done in this cabinet. So for that, you guys will have to learn Python workshop where you can do automatic drillings. As of now, we will learn how to add the drills manually. So if you remember the Excel sheet which we prepared while making the price list, in that there is a column of number of drill holes. So you can fill here number of drills required to make one particular product. So let's say for Blum soft close, I say I need 6 holes, 3 on each side. For panel, I don't need any hole. To install one leg, I say I need 3 holes. Dowels, I need 2 holes, 1 in horizontal, 1 in vertical. To add a minifix, I need 3 holes. Each screw, I need 1 hole. I will save it up. I will go to CADbit. I'll go to the setup menu. I will go to product and I say I want to import my Excel once again. Now my product price list has been updated successfully. We'll now just go back to Python once again and generate a quotation for the same cabinet. So I will just go to part list and I click on bid button. So quotation is ready. We will again go to the reports tab and I will open the process wise report. So if you see, the drilling cost is also added. So there are total 48 number of drill holes required and price for one is 2 and this is the total price. So that's it for the drilling. Now let us learn the gluing process. The gluing process can be done in 2 different ways. Either the glue can be applied in linear way, which is applicable for edge banding, or else it can be applied on a flat surface, which is mainly used to stick veneers and laminates. So if I have to calculate the cost of glue while doing edge banding, then I will have to calculate it on per running meter. And if I have to calculate the cost of glue while applying veneer or laminate, then I will have to calculate it on per square feet. So now we're going to learn about the linear gluing process. You can make any kind of process under this linear category, but to explain you much clearly, I will take an example of edge banding. So the size of this drawer front is 598 by 321, for which the perimeter is 1838, which is roughly around 1.8 meters. So to apply 1 meter of edge banding, I can define an X price, and then CADbit will calculate the complete gluing cost. So now I will apply edge banding only on the two fronts of this cabinet. You will learn about the edge banding topic in detail in Python workshop series video. As of now, I will quickly just select the edges and apply the edge banding. I will apply edge banding of name ABS, and the thickness of the edge banding is 2 mm. I have also made a category of edge banding under per running meter, and I have also added this product under the product master. Now let us quickly go to CADbit and make our edge banding process. So let us go to the setup tab, and I will go to the process menu. In this, we will make a new process under the linear category, and the name of the process I will keep it as edge banding glue. I will define a standard price that to apply 1 meter of edge banding I require 30 rupees of glue. I can define dealer price, and I can define the super dealer price, and this time under the category I will choose only edge bandings. So you can basically make any kind of linear process to any category items which are registered on per meter or per feet. So I will just click on edge banding, and I will click on save. Now let us go to Python and generate the quotation for that cabinet. So I will go to part list, and I will click on the bid button. So our quotation is ready, and if I go into the reports tab, I can just go to process wise report, and under this report I can see one more process added, which is edge banding glue, and the total quantity required is 3.68 meter, and the price for 1 meter of edge banding is 30 rupees, and this is the total price required to apply the glue. So this is how you can calculate any kind of process which is on per meter or per feet unit using the linear process. Now let us go to our fourth process, which is assembly and labor. So to add our fourth process, I will go to the process tab, and I will choose the process. Now this process is very useful for the manufacturers who calculate the assembly and labor charge on percentage based on the total amount of the project. So let's say if the total cost of the project is less than 1 lakh, then the assembly cost may be 5%. If it is less than 2 lakh, then maybe it is 8%, and so on. So you can set different range of amounts here and a percentage to it respectively. So I will say in this process, I want to add all my category, because I want to calculate the cost percentage based on the total amount of the project. I will define a logic here that if the value is less than 20,000, then I need 10%. If the value is less than 40,000, then I need 8%. If less than 60,000, then 6%. And if less than 1 lakh, then 5%. I will just click on save. Now I will just quickly generate the quotation for the same cabinet, and let's see what is the assembly and labor charge for it. So we have the quotation now, and let us go to the reports and process wise report. So in this, if you see, a new column is added that the total assembly charge is 1,673. So how did this derive from? So if I go to my summary report, here I can see the total cost is 20,915 rupees, which falls under our second category, that the amount is less than 40,000. And for this, we have added an 8% of assembly and labor charge. Similarly, you can add your own range and own percentage and select your own categories to be calculated. So now we go on to our next process, which is painting. So if you want to calculate the cost of painting on any items such as PU painted shutters, or maybe if you want to calculate the cost of wall painting, you can do it easily with the help of painting process. Since we are now focused on furniture manufacturing, we will talk about painting a panel. So to obtain the quantity required for painting, Python calculates the surface area of all the 6 sides of a part and then adds it up and multiply it by the price factor. So to make the painting process, let us go to CADbit, let us go to process, and this time I will choose painting. I can of course give a name, and I will put a price for painting. So to paint, let's say 1 square meter or square feet, I charge 120 rupees. Same with dealer price and super dealer price. I can define a unit, whether I want to calculate it on per square meter or square feet. Calculate on square meter, and I can choose the categories on which I want to calculate the painting cost. Since we only have the panel category here, so I will click that and I will just click on save. So our painting process is made. Now let us go back to Python and generate the quotation for this cabinet. So now on all the items which have panel category, a painting cost will also be calculated. So I will click on bid and we have the quotation here. And now let us go to reports tab and open the process wise report. So if you see in this report, we have painting of 6.31 square meter. The price is 120 and this is the total price required for painting of this particular cabinet. So if you want to have separate painting cost for carcass and a separate painting cost for shutters, you will have to make two different categories, and then later on you can just select the categories which you want in the process.